Well, hi, I'm Mark Isham, film composer, trumpet player, musician, and we're here at my studio, and we're going to talk about gear and projects and music and maybe even philosophy. I think since we last talked, I've done God, I don't even know how many, but a lot of movies, a lot of different kinds of movies, and that's one of the reasons I love the film business, is because each project offers an opportunity to explore a whole another world. I mean, a year and a half ago I did Crash, which was, beautiful independent movie, no money, need a bright idea, how are you going to score this thing? And it turned out, luckily, the electronic score was the right choice. And I think serves the movie tremendously well. All done right here. The Black Dahlia. This is a huge orchestral score, 95 musicians, Abbey Road, Studio One, London, England. But the purpose of a room like this is to be able to handle that diversity. If you've got to be able to come up with a score that can come out of a computer to the dubbing stage, and that you've also got to be able to write for a 95-piece orchestra and turn out the MIDI files and the data out of the computer to pass on to the orchestrators and things like that. Making a demo, like the Black Dahlia demos, it's all performed from the keyboard controller here. I can do volume, aftertouch, all sorts of. There's pedals, there's sliders, great knobs. I've got it all hooked up. Racks of PCs in the back there that have all the samples in them. All come in, get recorded, the MIDI performance, then that all gets patched through the mixer, and I can tweak my demo mix here, gets recorded into Pro Tools. The equipment has to be able to follow that diversity. It has to be able to cope with it and give you the products that you need. On a film, the first thing for me is to look at the picture. Spend a lot of time with it. It's usually about what that sound is. What's the sound of this world that this film is all about? And sometimes it'll just be me sitting playing a single note or a single chord and just flipping through sounds. Is it an acoustic film score? Is it an electronic film score? Is it a blend of them? Is it highly rhythmic? Is it ambient? Just start to narrow it down as to what the best vocabulary is going to be to really get help tell that story. And then the style will come out of that, whether it's very highly, strongly melodically driven, or is it more ambient? Is it just a couple of motifs and signature sounds? And of course, having a high-tech environment, you can check it out. You can put something in, pictures right there, you sit back, move 3 feet back, and become the audience for a minute. I've got a great team, and they're very talented, and I sort of make it my point of view as anything that they can do as well as I can, they should do. They'll make the sessions for the picture, they make it the sync, they get all the Logic sessions built, all the Pro Tools sessions built, they make sure the sync is all working, they get all the conversions that have to be made, but it all has to be done and it's all a lot of work. But it's great to have a good team. That way I can have more quality time to actually just do the writing. It keeps me really interested, really excited about doing this gig, When I was starting off, there was a bit of a back off because of no gear, right? And you would just have your pencil and paper and a piano, and then you'd never have the idea how that could ever become a film score, because you had to be hired in order to get gear to go the distance. Well, that's changed. For the price of a medium-priced computer and a couple of fantastic pieces of peripherals, you can score a picture. The project mix for me is a huge tool in very little space and on a budget, and obviously it's sitting here for that reason, because it's an incredibly valuable tool to get a total state-of-the-art professional job done. Great speakers, by the way. Love these speakers. Probably the thing I really find the most effective about the VX8s is the ease. We're in here for hours and hours and hours and hours, and then more hours after that. And you got to have speakers that are fun, accurate, and yet don't tire your ears out. With the VX8s, I know what I'm getting. I've always felt that one shouldn't blame the lack of finances for the ability to create great art. So that's no longer an excuse. So the advice is to just know that, it's worth the investment, because it's not a big investment, and you can start and then just do it. You have to do it. And even if it's just finding footage, quick times off of the internet or something and rescoring them, whatever it is, just get in and do it. Just because a film composer is someone who composes music for films, not someone who talks about doing it. I've talked to you and talked to many others over the years about what makes film music exciting to me. But we touched on something about the concept of genre, you know. Our culture today is so bent, or I should say, insistent upon that as some sort of label so that they'll know whether to like it or not. In the old days of the record store, you know, you had to have the aisle, and the aisle had to be labeled so that you knew where to go, and you knew that you would like that aisle and you wouldn't like that aisle. And I think film music is one of the great arenas for a musician because you can sort of sidestep all of that. You can just, it doesn't matter. Because you can take the most obscure music that no A&R executive would ever think of signing, and if it's the right music for that story, in that picture, it's great. And it could sell unknown numbers of albums. And that's what's exciting to me about this world. It's no boundaries.